Ba-da-ba-da-ba. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Song Tracks Essential Music STEM Research is back. What's good? I was praying my mic worked. I dropped it. I didn't. I mean, it fell and hit my foot. So I was like, oh, well, at least it hit something soft. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to the hard ground, it hit my hard foot the other day. And I was like, ow! Just, mic just fell. And I was like, well, it hit my foot. So, maybe it'll still work. I'll find out when I don't even test. I don't do a mic check. I hit record and I hit the intro, and it's like, it's magic time. We are back with another episode of STEM Research. What's good? My name is Mike Love. Welcome to whatever day the day is, all right? We're going to stop doing the days because the show is not only is it live, but you can watch it at any time. So if you miss an episode, you could I can go back and watch this on YouTube, not Facebook, because they muted everything. You can go back on Twitter or YouTube and watch the episode. So the episode, it's just live when it's live. How about that? Because last week I was tweaking so yesterday was Easter, and it was like the show was actually running on Good Friday. Oh man, you gotta love me though. You gotta love me. Just how I'm constantly tweaking. And it's just old age. It's just something that happens to you when you get old. You just are not mentally as sharp as you were when you're young, and that's just a part of life. So I'm looking for my blurb on the show and what the show is and what it's about to start saying this regularly so I can remember it, and it can be something that I add in the show every day. So what is STEM research? It's a deep dive into music's DNA. We listen to, dissect, and analyze a song's multitrack stems every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday night. That is what we do. And today and this week is Philadelphia week. We haven't done Philly, man. This is like a Philly Motown show. And we have not shown much love to Philadelphia in the last few weeks. And granted, the show has been, it's on, it's off, it's the best of, it's no show at all. And the numbers reflect that. Yeah, people are like, fuck STEM research, man. I'm off. Let me go watch this DJ. Or let me go out and be out in the world, right? Because the world is opening back up. But it's time for COVID-19 to rear its ugly head. I'm like, right on schedule. Like right before the summer starts. The COVID-19 stories. You know what? I work so much. Mike Love, what do you do? I'll tell you one day. Actually, it's really funny what I do for a living. But I work so much. Here's how much. How much do you work? How hard do you? I work hard. How hard do you work? I work so much that I don't have time to not only do I not have time to reply to my favorite text chat message chain, which is the old guy's text message chain between myself, Dr. B from Milwaukee, and my guy Wolf D, also from Milwaukee, but living in Long Beach, California. I don't even have time to read or reply to their text messages, but I don't even know what's going on in the world hardly, because I don't have time to sign on to social media to even read what's going on. Like when the whole Slapgate happened, I knew about it the next day because it popped up in the text chain, but I was just unaware. I'm so unaware of what goes on in the world. And you know what? I'm not kind of cool with that. I'm very cool with that. My world, things don't exist if like the black world, blackness, and what goes on in our world. Like it only people outside of our world have no idea what goes on in our world because they're like not a part of it. The same can be said about the world in general. Like if you unplug from all of the medias, social media, the news, television, all of that stuff doesn't exist. Like it's not that it's a figment of our imagination. It just literally doesn't matter if you're not plugged into it. And then, when you step out in the world, it's like everybody has a mask on. That's odd. All right, but enough of that. I never want to get really caught up in worldly things. I want this show, and it has always been a reprieve from the world, right? I don't talk about current events, and I'm not going to. This show is about me taking songs and breaking them down like they've never been broken down before on the internet. So, tonight, as I said, this week we're doing Philadelphia. Today we're doing Love Train by the OJs from the Backstabbers LP from 1972. And on Wednesday we'll do When Will I See You Again by the 3 Degrees, which was offered to me this week or last week. And I was like, I already got it. And I was like, oh yeah, I haven't done that. I promise you, not only did I have a show prepared, it's so funny. Like, When Will I See You Again? I swore I did that on an episode of STEM Research. Like, every time it comes up for me to do it, I say, no, I did that already. And I go through my Instagram and I go through my YouTube and I'm like, there's no episode of me doing this. But when I say I prepped the episode, I had the 2 stems lined up. It was going to be, I'll get into the story on Wednesday. But for great Philadelphia songs, 2 songs that went number 1 and number 2 on the pop chart, I think those are good examples, really great examples of the sound of Philadelphia. There have been so many songs that we've done on this show, just some of the all-time greats. And I've got some even greater ones lined up. I have 2 of the all-time great songs. I mean, and this one that we're doing tonight, Love Train, is the first pop number 1 for Philadelphia International Records. The record went platinum. The album went gold. And it's from Backstabbers. So we have a lot to talk about when it comes to this album. It went to number. I think this was where, in all honesty, because this is Clive Davis's Columbia Records of the early 70s. This is when all of the money, when they put the machine behind Philadelphia International, because Philly International had been struggling up until this point. The label was around in 1971. They celebrated their 50-year anniversary last year in 2021. So they went a very good part of their first year with no hits, no hit albums, a whole bunch of singles, and nothing really, really stuck until the big 3 of 1972, which were Backstabbers, I Miss You from Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes, and 360 Degrees of Billy Paul, which included Me and Mrs. Jones. We got a thing going on. So those were the records that stuck. And when the machine got behind them, they got behind them. Those records went to the top of the charts, the pop charts. Me and Mrs. Jones, top of the pop charts. Surprisingly, those multitrack stems have not been made available, considering as much as the Sigma Studios stuff has gotten to the streets, surprisingly not much on Billy Paul. I gotta talk to the Gotta talk to the STEMiverse and find out what's going on. Bro, Billy Paul did a gang of hot records. How come not many of them are floating around? What's the story? And it's funny because the STEM gods will either make up something or they'll really, really be in the know. Like some of them, because let me tell you something. Let me tell you something about the STEMiverse. Let me quiet down, but get real close to the microphone. This is an underground business that we have here. This is there may be some, not sure. There may be some illegalities going on with the trading and selling of multitrack stems. There may be some we have people's copyrighted music that the artists themselves don't even have, that they're not even privy to. You know what I'm saying? Like some artists, yes. You know, the Prince of the world, like Prince had all of his music. Prince owned his own studio. And the smart ones did this. They had their own studio and they paid themselves, okay, I recorded my album in my studio. So the Molly Malls, the Princes, who else did that? I had another example at the top of my head. Dr. Dre. Always recorded in like some home studio. So they kept all the masters. Like Molly Mall kept all of the masters because all of the songs were recorded in Molly Mall's House of Hits, which was literally his house. But he was the studio. So he has all the masters. The same with Prince. Prince had all his masters. Stevie Wonder, same thing. But as it starts to go down the line, you start to see fewer and fewer. But some were savvy. And a lot of tapes were thrown away. And some of them were saved. And some of them were taken and given away to, especially the Philadelphia stuff, the stuff that was recorded in Sigma Studios, like the song that we're doing tonight. So one of the things that I wanted to do is bring back Tale of the Tape, because we've talked about the OJs ad nauseum. We've talked about the members of the OJs. We talked about how they got started and where they came from. They're from Cleveland or from Ohio, and signed with Philadelphia International Records after Motown and a few other record labels wanted to sign them. They had a not so successful music career up until 1972, but just because you've been in the game for 10 or 15 years and you're not successful, meaning you haven't had a big hit, doesn't mean that you don't have a big hit in you. And that is what was proven with the OJ's first two albums, which are Backstabbers and Ship Ahoy. And those two albums are going on Tale of the Tape because they are arguably one and two their best albums. All right? I mean, they have, man. Another thing that I say about the OJs is they are the most successful over time artists that Philadelphia International had. They are the most consistent artists. They had hit records. And I don't know if it's just Gamble and Huff never stopped believing in them. Because over the years, that was the story, is that Gamble and Huff eventually would move on and start focusing on other artists like Lou Rawls or Jerry Butler or Dee Dee Sharp. Whoever would come to the label, they would become the focus. They would be the main guy until the next main guy showed up. But that was not the case with the OJs, which adds to the consistency. Like, I could put Family Reunion up here. I could put So Full of Love. And it's like, man, they had consistently strong albums, consistently strong songs, hits, period, over from 1972 to at least 80 or 81, which for an artist that does an album a year and sometimes two, that's pretty good. And sometimes as an old guy, I'm quick to say, man, 10 years isn't a long time because I'm 56. So 10 years, like, but fam, 10 years ago, you were 46. That was a long time ago. 10 years ago, your 8-year-old daughter wasn't even here. That was a long time ago. So 10 years is a nice chunk of success. So I wanted to do, as I said, a tale of the tape. Why don't you put the window capture up, bro? Okay. Got to be ready. There we go. All right. Tale of the cassette tape. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to move this. Excuse me. Window capture. Let's move that just a little bit. There we go. Yep. There we go. All right. Tale of cassette tape. Tale of the tape. This is something that we do regularly on the show. Tale of the tape, of course, comes from boxing or MMA, where at the beginning of a match, they give you the name Mike Tyson versus Evander Holyfield. And then they run down the tape, which is their height, their weight, their wins, losses, their reach, who they slept with, and what they eat for breakfast, right? Compared back, next to each other. Tale of the cassette tape is something similar, except it's the tale of the tape between two albums, and I just dropped cassette in because it's from the cassette era, right? It's the tale of the cassette tape. So we are comparing the OJ's Backstabbers, their debut album from 1972, which is certified gold, with Ship Ahoy, their 1973 sophomore release, which is certified platinum. Both albums are certified classics, and arguably, we had both of these albums. We had both of them. So let me put up the album covers. Oh, it covered me up. You can't see me anymore. Okay. This one's still in the shrink wrap. I chose this album cover for a reason. Because this is your uncle or aunt's copy, right? On STEM Research, this show is about history and it's about the music. And then we get to, breaking down the song. Bro, shrink wrap with the hype sticker? Definitely not the copy at our house. That's your auntie's copy. Fam, she took care of her records, bro. Don't touch those. Don't touch those. You know what I'm saying? Still in the plastic. Fam, all my auntie's albums were still in the plastics. Shout out to Aunt Alicia. Shout out to Aunt Yvonne. Both of them. Rest in peace. Shout out to all my aunts and uncles that I've lost, man. Their copies were always in the plastic. Still, bro, with the 992 arguments and backstabbers hype sticker. And their name written on the label just in case you want to borrow it. Oh, that's something we never talk about on this show. You had to write your name on your records in the 1970s and 80s because, let's face it, cousins, nephews and nieces have sticky fingers, or you just let them borrow it. And when it's time to come collect, you want to reach in, pull out that album and go, yep, that's me. It says Barbara Ann Hudson on it, or BAH for short. All my records have BAH on them. You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing these jokes for myself. This is real life, people. This is Black history. We wrote our names on records. When you go through old record stores, it's like, why does this record say Alvin Jackson on it? Because Alvin Jackson had cousins. And he wanted to get his records back. All right? So, the OJ's Backstabbers, you see it. You see the guys, you see Eddie Levert, you see Walt Williams, we see William Powell in the front as if he's the lead singer, and he's not. Come on, it's all about Walt and Eddie on this one. The album kicks off with When the World's at Peace, which is Girls, I Got 'Em Locked, right? And a little piece of a Gangstar song. Gangstar sampled it. Like, this album kicks off with a nicely sampled piece of music, man. That's like Girls, I Got 'Em Locked. The classic Super Lover C Casanova Rudd song samples the OJs and the MFSB studio band. Sure does. This album kicks off with a funk ditty. Funk. Who would have figured? It goes into Backstabbers, Who Am I, which is an incredible slow song. And Eddie Levert really just got to stretch out on a lot of the songs that he got to stretch out on. They're like 7-8 minutes long. The band just played and he just came in and just did his thing. They call me Mr. Lucky. Just album filler, but I remember it because we had this album and we played it to death. And one of my favorite songs, which ended up actually, this was the final single released from this album. And I found that out doing my research for this album, is that Time to Get Down not only is a song that was on Superbad Is Back, but it was a single that went to number 2 on the Black chart. I was like, oh shit, no wonder I love this song. We had the album and it was playing on the radio. Okay. So a great first side of the album. Great first side, flip it over. All right, 992 Arguments, which is like Backstabbers Part 2. It was the follow-up single to Backstabbers and did relatively well on the charts. It actually went to, let me see, I got that in my notes. It went to number 13 on the Black Singles chart. Not bad. 992. I'm sick of you. Oh, my God. That was so. My man said, I can't even leave the house and go to the corner and have a drink. Like, so 72. Corner bars were on every corner, bro. Like you just had to go to the corner. Like, now it'd be like, let me get in my car and go to a liquor store or a convenience store and get some liquor, or a club 15 minutes or 10 minutes or however many minutes away, as opposed to walking to the corner, bro. In Chicago alone, there are so many, and while I'm working, I'm out in the streets, and I see a lot of old taverns that were converted, and that's one of the beauty of Chicago. Let me put myself back up here, because you need to see me while I'm telling these stories, not the OJs. So let me take the OJs off the screen. So many old taverns have been converted to like houses or where people live. You know what I'm saying? But you could tell the way they sit and the way the building is made. Like, this used to be a tavern, bro. Like, Chicago, Milwaukee, Midwest. Maybe other cities are like that too. Like, those taverns were everywhere, man. I mean, Jesus Christ. And they're still there. You know what I'm saying? They're just something that, like, people live in them now. Listen to the Clock on the Wall album cut. Shady, shiftless, shady, jealous kind of people, which is another version of Backstabbers. Sunshine, the fourth cut on the B-side. Like, wow, there are 10 songs on this album. They were really giving you your money's worth. You didn't get more than 8 cuts, because look at Ship Ahoy. By the time Ship Ahoy came out, they're like 8 guys, 8 cuts is how many. It's like somebody at Columbia, because this is also the beginning of Philadelphia International Records in 72. They don't really know. They know, but they've been in the music business and they've made records and they've even done albums, but 10 songs on the album, that's a lot of music, even though it's still clocked in at under 40 minutes. which is where you want to be, like somewhere between 36, 42 minutes. Like, but the long songs on this album are long. You know what I'm saying? And Sunshine is a classic, a classic OJ song. Absolutely classic slow jam by them. And the album ends with the song that we're doing tonight on this show, which is Love Train, the short version. All right, so it's like 3 minutes long on the album. All right, we jump to the second album, which is, man, all right, now we got a tighter lineup, no filler, because let's face it, Shiftless, Shady, Jealous Kind of People, kick that to the curb, and They Call Me Mr. Lucky. All right, so I just took one song off of side A and one song off of side B, and we have 8 songs, right? But we don't. We have 10. Now, Ship Ahoy is a tighter, leaner, meaner, straightforward, put your hands together right out the bat, coming out the gate with the heat. All right? Great up-tempo song. Ship Ahoy, which kind of lays down the foundation of what the album is about. Let's put the album cover up there, not that one. Okay, let's go to Ship Ahoy. And we definitely had this album too, boy. We had them both. Ship Ahoy conceptually is, about the slave trade. And black folks, that's the top picture is black folks on the ship coming across to America to be slaves, right? Looking up into the sky, you can see the stars and the moon and the 3 members of the OJs. And now, rightfully so, William Powell is in the back. Eddie LaVert is in the front. Walter is second. But the album isn't just about the slave trade. It isn't about the slave trade at all. It's just the song Ship Ahoy is. But conceptually, it's just that Gamble of Gamble and Huff always wanted a message in the music. So the message was, okay, we're going to talk about the passage, the coming across the seas, the middle passage. Come on, y'all. Y'all know I'm going to get it eventually. The middle passage, right? That's what it's called? Middle passage. Let me Google that to make sure. Us coming across these seas, but the album is about so much more than that. The song Ship Ahoy is about that. This Air I Breathe is basically about pollution in the air, right? Then you got your Hooks in Me, which, okay, so now I'm 7 years old, and I'm like, hold on, middle passage. Yep, the transatlantic slave trade. Okay, I did learn something in high school. You got your hooks in me. I thought, I'm 7 years old. I'm like, man, your hooks in, like, that sounds painful, because I knew that a fishing hook in your skin could hurt really bad. But as I listened to the song, I was like, oh, it's kind of possessed by this woman. And it's a great, absolutely great killer song from the OJs. Just slow, meandering. Eddie LaVert does his thing. All right, we kick off side B of the album with the classic. Forget about it. You already know. I love money. We did that one here on STEM Research. That's just one of the great fucking songs of all time. Say it with me. That's just great. One of the great fucking songs of all time. For the love of money. Money is the root of all evil. Timeless message. All right. The original version of Now That We Found Love follows this up, and that's a killer version of Now That We Found Love. Obviously, the Third World version is the one that's the remake is better than the original, but this ain't no slouch. Don't Call Me Brother, the third song on that side, is an incredible song of, a guy getting stabbed in the back by his guy. Backstabbers Part 3. If you haven't had a chance to listen to Ship Ahoy lately, pull it out or go on to your favorite streaming service and give it a listen. It is an incredible. These early Philadelphia International albums are the albums that set the stage for what the label was, which was incredibly tight, polished production, period. Incredibly written songs, period, and incredible vocal performances. They were black music. They were the bad boy of their time. If I could just kind of give it don't compare them to Bad Boy. Hey, they had a hot moment. Like Bad Boy, I say the first 5 years, Bad Boy 92 to 97 is like the Bad Boy. And Philadelphia International 72 to like 77, 78, unstoppable. People keep telling me I don't even remember that song, and I just listened to the album, so go figure. All right. So as we compare both of those albums and the tail of the tape, I would go with Ship Ahoy, the certified platinum album, just because it's leaner and meaner, right? It just comes, it hits you in the head. All of the songs, even if you don't know them by title, they're really strong songs. And that's what I talk about a lot on this song when it comes to listenability of an album, even today. Backstabbers is an incredible album, and the songs are good, but they don't flow together as well as the Ship Ahoy album. Even though Ship Ahoy is a conceptually titled album, it ain't like it's 8 songs about the Middle Passage. It ain't. And they wouldn't have gone platinum with that. But it is a cohesive concept and a cohesively flowing album, whereas, like I said, it's kind of like up and down. Like it starts like Backstabber starts out with this funk ditty when the world's at peace. Then goes to Backstabbers, it's like dun 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 dun, and it's like this disco thing. Who Am I? It breaks down slow. Then it goes to They Call Me Mr. Lucky, which is this happy-go-lucky, goofy song, and then goes to this badass pre-disco Time to Get Down. You know what I'm saying? It's musically, the songs are great, but it's all over the place flow-wise, or when you put an album together and you're kind of syncing it and making it all work, right? I would go with Ship Ahoy with just the flow, but I probably have more favorite songs. Backstabber, Time to Get Down. That's like top 5 OJs for me, bro. I say it every time an OJ song comes up. Still waiting for the stems. Can't wait for them to leak because then you're going to see me lose my mind. And Walt and Walter. We'll get to talk about Walter on this show. So let's set the stage for Love Train and the Sigma Studio Musical Sweethearts, a.k.a. the band. Mother, Father, Sister, Brother, Motherfucking Son of a Bitch, MFSB, laying down the heat on this one. Love Train, bro. A song about this is all Kenny Gamble again, putting a message in the music, wanting everything and everybody in this world to join hands. Remember when they were on Soul Train and they sang Start a Soul Train, Soul Train. I remember that, right? I remember everything about Soul Train, bro. It's the most important TV show in my life. They sang, people all over the world join in, start a soul train. A soul train. But that's what the song is about. It's like all of the nations in the world coming together, joining hands, and being at peace, as opposed to being at war, which, as we found out as human beings, is way more profitable. Like, war is way more profitable than peace. So let's make sure there's always a war going on, which is why when you turn on the news, the first thing they're always talking about is the war. Because wars are money, right? We just sent $89 billion to Ukraine to help them fight. Because they can't fight. Like, fam, what are they doing over there? Why we got to, you know what I'm saying? And black folks, we the worst. And that's all I'm going to say about that. That's it. We not, this ain't that show. This ain't that show. This is the positive music show, Love Train. And shout out to my pops, bro. I was so, man. Underneath this scruffy, gruff interior, underneath the scruffy gray beard, is a super sensitive Pisces man. And one of the shows, my father was in the live chat on YouTube. And first of all, Pops has a sign in on YouTube, which was like blowing me because he's like 79 years old. He's not 79. That's like, fam, did you just call me 79? My father is like, has a YouTube sign in, but you got to live, right? Like, who doesn't? And he was in the comments like, I love you, son. Do your thing. I was like, Pops. I was so geeked because I talk about his musical influence all the time. So if he just has remotely seen any of the shows where I talk about him, man, like that man, I love that dude. Love you, Pops. So here we are, Love Train. Let's start out with the music. Now, of course, this long version, the song was less than 4 minutes long on the album, but it got a new life on the Philadelphia Classics album. Shout out to Tom Moulton. Let me just say that album was like the DJ's best friend. Let me go back to the screen. I'm sorry. One last album, people. I have to pull that one out. If you were a DJ in the 90s, in the 2000s, and in the 80s, if you didn't have this, let me just say, let me put it like this. If you lived in a city where you had this in your crate, you lived in a cool city. And if you got to play out and play songs from this, you consider yourself blessed. This album is Jesus Christ. It was so necessary. This is necessary house music, dance music. It's Tom Moulton. God bless his soul. He's still with us, man. He did extended versions that live on to this day, and he's gone back and retouched this whole album, and because he kept the tapes. So I just wanted to touch on this because Love Train in its long version is on this album, Philadelphia Classics. So salute to Tom Moulton, salute to Philadelphia International Records for putting this out in 1977, and salute to the DJs that, like I said, I had a white promo copy of it, and I just, you wore the grooves off on this shit, boy. It's got all the long version of Don't Leave Me This Way, and I always love my mama. Oh my God. And Bad Luck. Everything. And Love Is the Message, which I've never really been blessed to play Love Is the Message, but I totally respect the record. And hope to get the multitrack stems on that one day. All right, so here we are. Let's go back to Love Train and let's get started because we ain't got all day. Well, we do. We have as much time as I want. The house band MFSB You know them. As we go through the instruments, we'll talk about who played what, but this is 1972, so this is the original guys. This is Norman Harris. This is Ron Baker. This is Bobby Eli. This is Earl Young, Don Ronaldo, Larry Washington, what's Vincent Montana Jr. Like just the original. You know what I'm saying? It's like the Showtime Lakers, man. This lineup is the Showtime Lakers. It's the three-peat Bulls. Nah, because the three-peat Bull, you know what I'm saying? Nah, let's go with Showtime Lakers. Sorry, Chicago. As much as I love the 2 three-peats, there's no lineup outside of the big 3. The Showtime Lakers is like, shit, bro. They had fucking, like, Showtime is like 80 through 89, though. You know what I'm saying? So it's a whole 2 generations. Whereas, the Bulls are like 3. Okay. All right. So enough of that. No disrespect to the Bulls, because my Chicago family would be like, man, don't you disrespect, whoever on the Bills like that. Okay. So let's dive in. We'll start with the instrumental, and then we'll start breaking down all of the instruments one by one, and we'll stem up the instrument groups. We'll listen to all the guitars together. We'll listen to drums and percussion, bass, vibes, and strings, and then we will go to an incredible vocal performance from Eddie Levert and Walt. As you can see, Eddie, Walt, and background. So I don't see a track that says William Powell. No disrespect to him. Rest in peace. But we all know. All right? S.T.E.M research.
Hold it. 9.
Okay, we got to stop that. First off, 2 things. This was cut from a bigger session. I love this. Here's a little insight on how these stems or multitracks leak. So they just leaked the entire leak, meaning, how it got to us. It's the entire 9 takes, but somebody smartly goes, I'm just going to cut all the other 8 before this and give you the one that matters. So that last little piece was from the end, or just a little take of take number 8. It never takes these guys 9 takes to get it right. And even within this 9th take, like there's some little, it's not in the pocket, but it sounds dope when some of the instrument playing is a little behind some of the other instruments. So it works, but I like the way it just like they're just in the groove, and then they stop and somebody counts off and then they're into it again. Like that's what they did for a living, bro. Like people nowadays, like the mindset is like, oh, again? But these guys came in so tight, just like on the 9th take. So salute to them, man. Absolutely brilliant musicians, and a peek into how things worked in these musical sessions. All right, so let's take it again from the top. Y'all know I love count ins, so let's go.
Hold it. 9.
such a strong rhythm track. Up tempo, upbeat. One of the precursors to disco music. So you see that lag? Some things in the pocket, not in the pocket. Take it up.
Think that was a good one? What do you think, Norman? Okay, let's just do it.
That's dope. Super dope ending. So, less than 4 minutes. So, the song is the song as they recorded it, right? The song on the album clocks in a little bit under 4 minutes. That take, that final take, the one where they finally got it, where Norman said, yeah, that's the one. That's, let me play that end part again. I
think that was it. Y'all think that was a good one? What do you think, Norman? Okay, let's just do it.
Norman Harris, of course, who is the lead guitarist on this song and a go-to arranger in the Philadelphia International stable, and would eventually leave the label and start his own company, Baker Harris Young, with Ronnie Baker and Earl Young, who is still with us and still on Facebook and still a crotchety old guy. Haven't been on his page in a while because I'm not on Facebook as much because I'm working. All right, so we always start out with drums and percussion. We'll start out with Earl Young. Earl Young's drums and the late Larry Washington on percussion on this record. Always through the history of Philadelphia International, you could count on Larry Washington playing congas on most of the, probably a very large, high percentage of the hit records and the not hit records of the label. All right. So if you was looking for in the pocket conga playing and drumming, one of the most unique drummers in the history of the music game would be Earl Young. So let's start out with his drums.
Hold it.
Let's start out with his kit.
9.
Drums and percussion stem. This is what we do on STEM research. We go into the tracks, break them down individually. So everything starts with the drums, so we start with the drums. Now these two are not really in the pocket, which is kind of giving the song that offbeat feel that I was talking about. But once these two are in sync, that's when this whole song is in the pocket. And they would grow to become very, very in the pocket, very in tune as a conga player. If you listen to congas on most of the later records that they worked together on Philadelphia International, and all of the stuff on Goldmine and the Tramps, Larry Washington and Earl Young, always in sync. But as you can hear, not so much on this record. Not so much. It's take 8, man. No, take 9. You know what I'm saying? The human drum machine himself. My favorite part of the song. My favorite part is the when they take it up, the bridge. Let's just let Earl eat. Let's just let Earl eat for a minute. Let's let him eat. Let him eat. Earl's a machine, man. Earl Young was a machine. It didn't matter. Take 9 or take 1. You know? I'm here, baby. Let's go. Earl Washington, on the other hand, not so much. Because his hands, you know what I'm saying? And I think that
was it. Y'all think that was a good one?
I think that was let me listen to let's take Earl out and let's play, because it sounds like at the end it's like that dun 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 dun. Nope. Why is there a kick behind that though? What's that all about? So there's like 2 drums. That's why the song feels the way it feels. It's like 2 kick drums. Interesting. Look at that. Look at the magic.
Y'all think that was a good one? Yeah. What do you think, Norman? Goddamn right. Okay.
Let me see what they're saying at the end. Let me see if I can crank that.
That was a good one? Yeah. What do you think, Norman? Goddamn right. Okay, listen to it.
Yeah, they were toast. They were pretty much toast by 9 takes. Even though they all are professional and they all came, like, they're still human beings, and you get that from that little studio banter at the end. All right, we're gonna do bass by itself.
Hold it. 9.
Psych. Guitar is played as a stem. Bass guitar and 2 guitarists. Norman Harris, Bobby Eli on guitars, Ronnie Baker on bass. That guitar, man. That's the song. For me. And we'll go back and give it a listen, or we'll solo it. That's got to be Norman Harris. Forgot his part. Come on, bro. I need that people all over the world. What are you doing? What are you doing? All right, let's take some of the other instruments out. Come on, Bluesy. Come on, Blues. All right, join hands. Bobby Eli on support guitar. I think that was it. All right, let's go with keys next. All right, so we have organs. We have EP, whatever that is. Do we have? Yeah, so this is like Rhodes or electric piano. I'm sorry. EP, electric piano. Electric piano and organ. So electric piano, that would be handled by Mr. Leon Huff. Organist would be Lenny Pakula, who's one of the funky white boys. Like him, T.J. Tyndall. Those are the guys that, you know, they had to they had to fight. They had to fight their way in. I said this before when I was speaking of Bootsy's Rubber Band and how the Player of the Year album just affected me as a kid. How you saw all of these black people with these cool nicknames on the back, and then this white guy. And as a kid, I was just like, that's the baddest white boy on the planet. And all of these guys that played on these records, Lenny Pakula, T.J. Tyndall, Bobby Eli, Vincent Montana, and Don Ronaldo, et cetera, on down the line. They had to be, because they had to impress black people. And black people know funky, and it's like, fam, we not just finna let you in, because also Kenny Gamble is like Mr. Black Awareness, Black Power, and it's the it's 1972, bro. Like black people are trying to set up their own shit. You know, integration is slowly making its way into America, but we still are coming off of the 1960s and the Black Panthers and the do-for-self black mentality. Raise yourself up. So we're not just about to let these white guys play when we could give these jobs to other black session musicians. So they had to be better than the best to even get the job. So let's get to the organ playing and the electric piano. Y'all know how I feel about Rhodes.
Hold it. 9.
All of the early, before Dexter Wansel joined the label in the mid-70s as their go-to electric piano / Rhodes guy, the co-founder of the label, Mr. Leon Huff himself, would sit down at the piano or electric piano and rip up some shit. He did it on KG. He did it on all these early records. That organ came in, bro. But I sincerely believe in my heart of hearts that the electric piano, the Rhodes piano, is an integral part of house music because of these recordings, because of what they did at Philly International in the 1970s. Come on, Lenny. Check it out. Uh-oh. Let's get some church. All right, so you know I'm backing that up. So I'm backing it up to both parts, right? So let's let Lenny, who went into an ultra churchy Leon Huff-esque organ solo, and then we'll see what the electric piano did on that same part, because that is my favorite part of the song, and that is obviously where the strings and the keys shown probably better than any of the other instruments on the song. Nice. All right, so let's take it back and let's do the Rhodes keyboard, the electric piano on that same part by itself. Take it up. Rhodes so big a part of all things Philadelphia International. Nice. Just the organ. Just the Rhodes. Don't leave me this way. Or, what is that? The Love I Lost esque.
I think that was it. Y'all think that was a good one? What do you think, Norman? Okay, let's do it.
That might even been Leon Huff, man, because he gets down. He gets down and soulful. So that's like soulful. All right, let's dive into. There is only one section of horns, so there is not a. The horns on this song are broken down into different stems. Like normally it might be trumpets, trombones, etc., etc. But Don Ronaldo and the guys saved a lot of tracks. So let's get into the horn section of Love Train. Baritone sax. Superhero trumpets. Nice. Come on, horns. Song was arranged by Bobby Martin. Bobby or Tom Bell did the horn chart. So charting was done by the guy who arranged the song and sometimes somebody who didn't arrange the song. But this song was arranged by Bobby Martin, who would go on to produce LTD in the late 70s and the Manhattans in the mid 70s. Love this. S.T.E.M research. Mike MFN Love, bringing to you for the first time the full breakdown of the OJ's Love Train. Not to be confused with Love's Train from 1983. Horns arranged by Don Ronaldo and his strings and horns. Superhero music. Come on. All right, that was the take. That was it. That was the money. That was the money take. Horns dubbed in at a later time. Let's see. Sweet. Yeah. Maybe play live. No. All right. So now it is time for strings and vibes, courtesy of strings and horns are always Don Ronaldo. Vibes are courtesy of Vincent Montana Jr.
Hold it.
9.
Strings a very, very important part of the Philadelphia sound. Obviously. Don Ronaldo's vibes. Put that all together. It's magic. Idea how string instruments are played. You just airplay them, baby. Airplay them. The string's a big part of this song. Everything is a big part, right? The bass is a big part. The guitars are a big part. The electric piano, the organ, the strings, of course, the vocals, which we will get to next. Vibes soloed, and then strings by themselves on my favorite part of the song. Take it up, the bridge to the bridge. One, two, three to the bridge. Sparse. Vince Montana let them eat. He play like 8 notes. He's like, I'm not getting in their way. No, and smart move on his part to let all of the other instruments, and that's what these instrumentalists do is, let the other players breathe and, let like they stays in this lane as you should. Ride this train. Get down. Start a soul train. Vibes. This is a great way to end the song. Like they should have left that on the album. Alrighty. It is time for Eddie, Walter, and that other guy that sings background, William Powell. I give him a hard time. Give Will a hard time, man. Marcus Chapman was in the chat. Said he sang lead on one of the songs. So that's what's up. I was having a discussion with DJ Emmanuel, and he was like, man, Walter's my favorite lead singer, and he like rambled off all these songs that Walt sang the lead on, and it's like, man, you can't argue with that, bro. That's when Eddie and Walter would go back and forth as they do on this song, it's magic. It's absolutely magic. As reported in previous episodes of STEM Research, when we do songs by the OJs, there was a committee of background singers who would sing for the groups. And that was never the case with the OJs. The OJs sang all their lead and all their backgrounds on all their songs. And there was never Phil Hurt and some of the other background singers who came in to sweeten up, as they like to say. They sweeten up the backgrounds, and the blue notes, y'all can take the rest of the day off. We got this. That was not the case here. So let's dive in to.
Hold it.
9.
And we're gonna get that 8. We're gonna get that 8 times. Y'all gonna hear it over and over. There we go. Here we go. Vocals time.
People all over the world,
everybody
join hands,
join.
Start a love train, love train. People all over the world,
aboard now.
Join hands,
Love ride.
Start a love train,
Love ride.
Love train.
Okay, so when I was a kid, I used to think the song said "Join In," because Eddie Levert's lead is singing over the backgrounds. So it's like people all over the world join in. Like, join into the party. But obviously it's join hands, which I learned later. And sometimes you can hear better when they do these songs live. So let's just solo the background vocal so I can hear the join hands in its full beauty.
People all over the world, join hands, start a love train, love train. People all over the world, join hands, start a love train, love train.
Yeah, it's almost like hands. Join hands. Join hands. So I can see why I thought it said join in, because it's not join hands. Join hands. All right, let's get Eddie by himself.
Everybody join
Nice.
you and you. All aboard now. Love rides.
Oh, I love this. I love STEM research. Bro, I love the fact that I could just hear that by itself. Because that's like preaching to me. You know what I'm saying? Let's take that back.
Everybody join.
All I need, boy, don't have me drop the roads in. Don't do, you know I do it. Y'all know I do it. Hold up. I do it. I'm a playwright. I'm a playwright, but I gotta play around first. I gotta be a remixer first. I gotta play remixer.
Everybody join you and you. All aboard now. Love rides. Love rides.
Bro, don't tell me that's not the hottest shit ever. Ah! That's why STEM remixes are like the greatest, because you just finally, as a DJ, it's like, you always wanted to just be able to like take that little part and just hear that. So, Eddie Levert, bro. Let's do him one more time. That's what she said.
Everybody join you and you. All aboard now. Love rides. Love rides.
Come on, Walter.
The next stop that we make will be England. Tell all the folks in Russia and China too.
Those Russians, those crafty Russians.
Don't you know that it's time to get on board
And let this train keep on riding, riding on through.
Well,
People all over the world,
you don't need no money.
Join hands.
Come on.
start a love train.
Don't need
Love
no
train.
tickets. Come
People all
on.
over the world,
Ride.
join
this train.
hands.
Ride this train, y'all.
Start a love train.
Love
Love train.
Before we go to Africa. We backing that up, baby. Come on. It's the STEM research. I'm geeked. Super geeked. Because this is classic Philadelphia right here. This is house. This is club. This is disco. This is warehouse music, baby. So I'm like, right? All right. So let's take the backgrounds out. Let's let Walter and Eddie eat.
You don't need no money. Come on. Don't need no tickets. Come on. Join. Ride this train. Ride this train, y'all. Love train. All of your brothers over in Africa.
Come on.
Tell all the folks in Egypt and Israel too.
Egypt is already in Africa, so it's cool.
Please don't miss this train at the station. 'Cause if you miss it, I feel sorry for you. Well,
People all over the world,
sisters and brothers,
join hands.
Come on.
Start a love
This
train.
train.
Love train.
Come on.
People all over the world,
Love train.
join hands.
Come on.
Start a love train.
Hey,
Love
hey.
train.
All right, so let's back up the backgrounds. The backgrounds ate good on this segment. All right, let's take Walt and Eddie out.
'Cause if you miss it, I feel sorry, sorry for you.
Nice harmony. Love that.
People all over the world, join hands, start a love train, love train. People all over the world, join hands, start a love train, love train.
Take it
Let
out.
it ride, let it ride, let it ride, let it ride.
Man, bad. We showing you why this song went to number one, right? This is why this song went number one on both charts.
Get on board this train.
Gonna ride to France.
This train.
Yeah.
Love
Going
train.
to Japan, y'all.
This train.
Come on.
You, and
Pakistan.
you. Get on.
Yeah.
Bring your neighbor.
Making love
Yeah.
round the world, y'all.
Ride.
Come on.
You see how they really try to not step on each other and let each other kind of they're bouncing off of each other vocally. And the thing is that this has to be overdubbed, right? Because obviously, you know. So one of them sings a part and then the other is, you know, joining in and just kind of eating in the space where he left room to eat. You know, like, all right, you say something, I say something. You say something, I say something.
Get on board this train.
Gonna ride to France.
This train.
Yeah.
Love
Going
train.
to Japan, y'all.
This train.
Come on.
You, and you.
Pakistan.
Get on.
Yeah.
Bring your neighbor.
Making love
Yeah.
round the world, y'all.
Ride.
Come on.
Hey.
Going over in India.
Ride.
Come
Ride.
Germany, y'all.
Ride.
Round
I
the
said
world.
this train.
All over the world,
Come on.
Love
join
train.
hands,
Coming to your
y'all.
way.
love
Yeah.
train,
Hey.
love
Get
train.
on.
Ride this train.
All over the world,
Come on.
Ride.
join hands,
Ride, y'all.
start a love
Come
train,
on.
love
Hey,
train.
hey, hey.
People all over
Get
the
on.
world,
Yeah.
join
train.
hands,
Ride.
start a love train,
Ride.
love
Round
train.
the world.
This train.
All over the world,
Come
Love
on.
train.
join
Going
hands,
to Ireland.
Get on
start a
board.
love train,
Ride.
love train.
Don't need
Hey,
you.
ride
Come
on, ride on,
Join
ride on.
hands.
Sisters and brothers.
Start a love train,
Everybody
love train.
can
Ride.
ride.
All over the world,
This
Love
train.
join hands.
Come on.
Love
Start a
train.
love train,
Everybody
love train.
got to
Ride,
ride.
ride, ride, ride,
Yeah.
ride.
Join hands.
Alabama.
Ride, ride,
Love train.
Come on.
Love train.
Love train.
I think that was it. Y'all think that was a good one?
Knocking on the studio window like that. It's like, all right, that's good. One of the things that I'm listening to is like so obvious. Like, how could I not really realize that?
Love train.
Is that this
Love
whole
train.
people all over
People
the
all
world?
over the world.
That's obviously what inspires Soul Train. And the Soul Train theme song is so inspired by Love Train. So I'm sure Don Cornelius heard Love Train is like, I need you guys to make a song about Soul Train. And people all over the world, like, that's literally taken from this and applied to the soul. Oh, just the greatest show. Just the greatest show of all time, man. Soul Train, bro. Could talk forever about it. Okay, so let's go back and let's just do Walt by himself doing that final segment of the song and his ad-libs.
Gonna ride to France. Yeah. Going to Japan, y'all. Come on. Pakistan. Yeah. Making love round the world, y'all. Come on. going over in India. Come on, Germany, yo. Ride round the world. Come on to Vietnam, yo. Hey, ride this train. Come on to Canada, yo. Come on, going to Italy, yeah. Ride around the world. Come on, going to Ireland, yeah. Don't need no money, y'all. Come on, sisters and brothers, everybody can ride. Love train, come on.
Come on.
Everybody got to ride. Yeah, Alabama, come on.
I love that. I love that Walt had to give you a come on. Like every 4 or 8 bars. You know what I'm saying? Come on. To just kind of stretch it out. Like just again, he's going back and forth with Eddie Levert, and they have to complement each other. They're not trying to outshine each other. You love Eddie Levert, you love Walt Williams, you love the OJs, man. And this is why it worked. Here's Eddie solo.
Get on board this train. Ride this train. Love train. This train. You, and you. Get on. Bring your neighbor, yeah, ride. Hey, ride. Ride. I see this train, the love train, coming to your way, yeah. Get on board. Ride. Hey, get on this train. Ride. Get strained. Love train. Get on board. Ride. Hey, ride on. Ride this train, love train. Ride. Love train.
I think that was it.
I like that. Love train. So Eddie Levert's word was ride, and Walt's word was come on. Like ride. You know what I'm saying? Like their song is just kind of take a break or take a breath or, let the other person, do their thing. So while you're doing your thing, because really it's just they're ad-libbing at this point. So if you choose a word like come on, it's giving you a break and it's having you say, I'm going to stop and let you do your thing. And him just going ride, you know what I'm saying? So absolutely genius work. Incredible work from all involved, man. These are the things that make the songs great. That's why we bring them in STEM research. And that's why they were creating magic in Sigma Studios, along with Clive Davis and the folks over at Columbia, putting money in. And, a little while later, Clive was let go because of payola and all those other things that were going on behind the scenes. People were getting dough, man. Payola has been a thing since the 1950s, and it may have been illegal, and they may have passed these laws in the 50s and 60s saying you can't do it. But you know what? It's still a part of the game, and it will forever. Pay for play will always be. As long as there's a radio, somebody's taking some money to play somebody's record because somebody out there thinks that that's what's supposed to happen. And I'm going to leave it at that. All right. You see the socials on the screen. Mike and MFN Love. The show is STEM Research. We are on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 8, 9, and 6. That is Central, Eastern, and Pacific time. Make sure you check us out. Monday and Wednesdays live shows, best ofs on Friday. And they're all streaming. If you miss an episode, they're all streaming on YouTube and Twitter. Shout out to the home base of Twitch. That's where we started. We started the first 6 months of shows where they played and you couldn't watch them, and that was it. And all the live interaction and all the live interaction is gone. So a lot of people are gone because of the inconsistency of me doing the show and the fact that people want me to read their comments live and interact. Like people be jumping like, yo, what's up, Mike Love? And I'm sorry to say that I can't do that anymore because I do not have the time. I mean, I'm going to say it again to the people in the balcony that can't hear. I do not have the time to do this show live. I cannot. My work schedule will not permit me to do this show live, like sign in at 8 o'clock and do the show live like I did the first 6 months. I'm doing the show. I hate to say it. Because, it's like putting things in the universe. I do the show for myself, and you're the only one watching it. And it is what it is. That's just, if it is that, then that's what it is, right? Because I'm stubborn. I wish that I could do the show live, and I wish that I could sit on my laptop or my iPad and read the comments and read them back to you and interact like people want the old STEM research to be, but that's not the case. So either you're here because you love the concept and the music, or you're here for me to read your comment and feel important because of that. So what are you here for? Because you like what it is and the concept of the show, or you want somebody reading your comment? I mean, and I get it, man. I love a shout out. Bro, I'm fucking Mike Love. Well, not literally, but, I'm Mike Love. I like a shout out, too. Somebody say my name on the radio, I'll be like, oh, I get it, bro. That's my man Mike Love in the comments. What up, dog? Yeah, I feel it. Bro, everybody likes a shout out. That's why the term shout out still exists. All the way through Toss It Up and all that goofy shit that we did on the radio. Like, we don't do shout outs, toss it up. It was still shout outs. People would still come to the radio station. I want to do the shout out. Because since the 1980s, that term started in New York City, right? From Video Music Box, shout outs, and has been alive ever since. Because black people and people in general, I know I make things about black because I'm black and I'm old, and color is a part of all of this. So I am not trying to alienate anybody. But I find a way to fucking do it, though. But so, it is what it is. The show is what it is. It's Philly week, and I'm here on STEM Research, Song Tracks, Essential Music. We break down stems and multitrack recordings like they've never been broken down in an exciting way, because these songs excite me, and I hope they do you too. So, shout out to the Stimulators on Twitch. Shout out to everybody watching on YouTube. Shout out to those watching. Shout out to Myoni Payton and everybody. Let me just open my phone and just look at the people, because I can see them. You know what I'm saying? Like Dragoon Knight 5515 still showing love, bro. Thank you. Appreciate that. Shout out to the people that follow me because of this show. Who else? Yeah, Myoni Payton. She always, DJ Drip Sweat followed you. So either, most of the times DJs follow me because of this show or because of one of my edits on Bandcamp. And I don't know why the Bandcamp logo looks like that, but it does. So I'm Mike MFN Love on everything. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Cash App, of course, is $ Mike Love. All right, let's get out of here. We'll be back on Wednesday. Thank you guys so much. Thank you. Making no excuses for the show, making no excuses for what it is. it is what it is. My schedule is my schedule, and I got to work with that until it's not that. So, until my life is not, running around till 8, 9 o'clock at night. And, shit. It is what it is, bro. Life is life. All right, we all got to do what we got to do. All right, so either you fuck with STEM research or you don't. Either you're here for a shout out or you're here for the music. One or the other. All right, so let's get out of here. Let's close the damn show. Reminding you that we will be back on Wednesday with another Philadelphia experience. The 3 Degrees, a.k.a. the Black Barbies. When Will I See You Again? A song that went number 2. So we are spotlighting 2 songs that went to pretty much the top of the charts. Top of the pop charts, right? Number 4 on the black chart, man. The 3 Degrees in 1973. 72, 73. Your boys Gamble and Huff were unfuckwittable. It's like 96, 97 Bad Boy. I'm telling you. But with real instruments. And not samples. Where the samples originated, all right? So, 3 Degrees, When Will I See You Again on Wednesday? Written and produced by Gamble and Huff. So make sure you are here for the laughs, the stories, and the trip down memory lane. Man, we talked about writing your name on records today. Come on. What? If that's not the experience, I don't know what is. If I'm not, come on. I'm not talking about shit that I just, only I would do. You know what I'm saying? This show is about my life and my experience, but I'm also talking about things that were universal to the black experience growing up. All right? If I was white, I'd talk about that. All right, enough of that. This guy's literally sending away everybody that even remotely likes the show. Bro, I'm white. I love what you're doing, but stop. You're racist. I'm not, man. I'm not racist. I'm just glib, I'm the living embodiment of somebody like Patrice O'Neal, a continuation of that mindset of just say what you say, bro. You know what I'm saying? Live your life. Say what you say. Shout out once again. Thank you to everyone who watches, shares, likes, whatever it is you do. Thank you. You keep the show going. You keep me motivated to do the shows. And thank you to the STEMiverse, the STEMuverse. Thank you for the STEM, for the guys that are the drug dealers, the STEM dealers, my connects. Thank you. Because without you, there's no show. All right. Class is dismissed. Talk to you Wednesday.